And so it comes down to this. The race of truth against the clock. It's been a truly remarkable Vuelta, billed as one of the toughest ever, and the finale in Madrid would not disappoint. Primož Roglič in his red skin suit, Enric Mas hoping for a podium, Ben O'Connor wanting to be runner-up. And what lay ahead of us? 24.6 kilometres of moderately lumpy road. Not as flat as it could have been, but certainly not mountainous. Technical in parts and a real test, but for the powermen and potentially the specialists. How would it go? Well, Affini was the man who set the benchmark out there. Wonderful drive-through for Visma Lease bike, and underscoring his 5th place in the opening time trial in Oreas. Time trials bookending this race, and Affini in the hot seat. Campenaerts was up for it, as he always is. A great rider, a super personality, and in fact trimming the target for everyone who followed. 27.22, his mark, and Schmidt came out and absolutely shook the tree. What would fall out? Everybody else. Schmidt was magnificent. Another 8 seconds and over 54 kilometres per hour. Well, there are others out there that tried and just could not snip and snipe at those who were out front. Baroncini, though, did make it for UE in a surprise. And it just showed you that freshness is a very important thing. And Kung had kept himself for this moment. Well, he said to us that he had to make sure the weight didn't go on after the Tour de France, and in fact bringing some cheer to Groupama Francis de Jure after what has been a very difficult season. And the margin was enormous. Baroncini's time slashed by 43 seconds. Cattaneo came out for Soudal-QuickStep, good enough for 2nd place. But my life, what a battle we had amongst the GC riders. David Gaudu, never a time trial specialist, dropped out of the top 5 with this performance. Roglič, still by the ice blowers, waiting to go. Well, it was time to ponder that podium. Out there, already on course, was Richard Carapaz, trying to snip and snipe at Enric Mas's podium spot. Mas himself potentially thinking of 2nd place, but in the end, both he and Richard Carapaz finished with the same time, and Mas ends 3rd place in the GC. Well, the man who sat in front of him and in front of everybody for 13 days wearing red was, of course, the mighty Ben O'Connor. Amazing on a time trial bike. He's been super up the mountains and proving what not only a gentleman he is, but what a competitor as well. Kung's time was never going to get beaten by O'Connor, but he had to make sure that runners-up spot behind Primož Roglič belonged to him. And so, of course, it fell to Roglič himself. Already the leader of this race. Already with a firm place in our hearts and those of the Spanish public who treat him as one of their own. As well they might. 3 wins to his name and a 4th on the cards here. He just had to finish the job, and he did it beautifully. Kung beat him on the day, but Roglič beat everyone for a 4th Vuelta title. Absolutely magnificent. Thumbs up from Kung, the Swiss time trial champion, now with a Grand Tour stage win to his name. Roglič, 4 wins equaling Roberto Heras' record. You never know, he might one day just make it 5. He can enjoy it for now. Runners-up spot for Roglič on the day, but the title overall. But Kung, the best man here against the clock. A superb win, and just adding some balm and calm to Groupama Francis de Jure, who'd seen, of course, others thrive. King of the Mountain standings, Jay Vine taking it by a margin of just 2 points. Vine with a spectacular battle against his teammate Soler, who gets the overall combativity prize. Green jersey going to Caden Groves, super deserved. Just such a shame that the battle with Wout van Aert ended the way it did. The green jersey going down under then, with our thanks and indeed appreciation. And so it is as well for our young rider classification winner. Chelmo's absolutely brilliant, holding those at bay who would deny him. White belonging to him. He got principal status within his team at Little Trek, and he lived up to the billing. Overall, things stay the same. Roglič on top, Ben O'Connor in second place, and, of course, Enric Mas right there. One change was Godot dropping to sixth place, with Chelmo rising to fifth. What a podium it was, and what a race it was. Billed as one of the toughest ever, and indeed delivering spectacularly. It was an absolute pleasure to enjoy it in your company.